What is going on, YouTube? This is Owen Dowell, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be giving you guys a video showing a Zippo spin-off. This is not really a Zippo knockoff. This isn't really a copy of a Zippo. It's more of a spin-off. It just looks like a Zippo. It's not trying to be a Zippo. I actually found this. I've actually bought this thing back in like 2015, I want to say, and I have had it for years because it's 2019 now. And I recently found it while cleaning up my room, and I decided I want to make a video on it because I had completely forgotten about it. So obviously it's the one right here. This is the lighter we're going to be talking about. All right, you can see it comes in this interesting packaging, this sort of clear and blue clamshell thing, and it's got this foam insert or sort of a foam border around it. Nothing really on the back. I don't know if there used to be something on the back. I'm not sure. There used to be something sticky on the front. It might have been the price tag that I paid for this. I actually bought this at a local antique shop, and I cannot remember exactly how much I paid, but I almost guarantee you it was $5. And in fact, I can go to the antique store now, today, and I will still see lighters just like this in this same exact case. So they're still selling them. I don't know about. It's been a little while since I've actually looked for them, but every single time I've been going, I've seen this exact lighter style packaging with one of these lighters in it. So that's pretty cool. And I do believe they are about $5. So what I have, this is obviously, as you can tell, a Zippo Slim, kind of a look-alike. So I actually have here a real Zippo Slim that we can compare it to as we go through it. But first of all, I'm just going to go ahead and show you around the lighter. So let's go ahead and move this out of the way. And let's go ahead and open this box. So it just kind of pulls apart, and there it is. All right, so you can take this out, and this is the lighter. That's what it looks like. You can tell it is a brushed chrome style finish. Well, I don't know what that is right there, but that is it. And it's super shiny on the sides. You can see it's actually a little bit flat compared to a Zippo. We'll take a look at it here in a minute. Now here's the bottom stamp. And the bottom stamp, you can see this is a company called Park Lighter in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I think I'm saying, no, I'm sorry, Murfreesboro. That is one of the hardest things I have ever seen to pronounce. Murfreesboro, Tennessee, USA. So yeah, these are actually made in Tennessee. And they actually tout themselves as being the first ever lighter company in existence. I don't know if that's true, but I'm certainly not going to doubt them. They make a big deal of it on a lot of the things that I've seen. So this could very well be from the first ever lighter company produced. Now, I highly doubt that this is the first ever lighter design that they made. I did just a little bit of Googling around, and all the lighters that I saw looked just like this. But I feel like this is their sort of their take on the Zippo lighter, and a slightly more modernized Zippo lighter. So you'll actually notice there's a couple of things in the back here, which I thought were kind of interesting. So let's go ahead and let's remove that, and we can take a look at what we've got in here. So we'll just set that there. We've got this little, or let's actually look at this side first. There's an important notice. Please read before filling your lighter. So this is giving you some basic. Oh wow, this lighter contains the latest scientific development. Oh, hang on. Let's get that. The latest scientific development in fuel containers. Filler plug, which is superior to cotton. Formerly used for several important reasons. And there's all the important reasons. We'll actually have to take a look at that. I'm not actually sure if I've looked at the inside of this thing yet, or at least looked at the inner workings of it. So here is the filling instructions, which looks a lot like a Zippo, as you can see. And you do see that it is a wick lighter. This isn't some sort of fancy butane lighter. This is a wick lighter. It even mentions the wick on there. Now, the other thing that's interesting, I don't know how much this thing originally cost when it was new, but it does come with a guarantee. All right, and I haven't really taken a good look at it, but you can see that this thing does come with, if your lighter fails to operate satisfactorily, return it to our factory with your name and address, and it will be repaired and returned free of charge. So this looks to be about like the Zippo warranty, actually. they're kind of trying to do that. I wonder if I could find the company. I did a little bit of Googling and a little bit of research. I couldn't really find an official website. So I'm not sure if they're still around. See right there, America's first lighter maker. The finish is not guaranteed. So just like Zippo, this is literally just like Zippo's guaranteed. On the back, we've got some basic instructions on how to do things with your lighter, such as how to fill it, which you can see right there, and how to replace the flint, which you can see right there. It's very, very similar to a Zippo. All right. So that pretty much does it for the paperwork. I think that is all the paperwork that came with it. You can see this might be a fairly old lighter because it's kind of yellowed. So I don't know, again, when this thing was made. It doesn't really have a date system per se. I haven't really taken a good look at the insert yet. We'll take a look at that here in a minute, but you can see there's nothing really to indicate a date on the bottom stamp. Unlike a Zippo, which, as you know, has the traditional sort of dating code. This one made in February of 2011. It's easy to see that using Zippo's dating system. This lighter looks just like a Zippo on the outside, as you can see. In fact, let's go ahead and let's compare the exterior sort of design here. Zippo Slim right here. Now the Zippo Slim and the Park lighter are identical in dimensions. They are completely the same dimensions. And thickness, pretty much the same. Like I did say, though, you can definitely tell here where the Park lighter is a little bit flatter than a Zippo lighter, all right? And you can also see the bottom stamp on the Zippo is canned. Now, this is a modern Zippo. I did used to have a rose gold Zippo from the 90s, and I unfortunately sold it. I don't remember if it had a canned bottom or not, but yeah. With that, I think it did. So, you know, Zippos, at least, I don't remember when they started doing it, but they do have a canned bottom, whereas the Park lighter doesn't. You can see there's the hinge system. The Zippo has tack welds on it. That's where those little dents are. That's actually where the hinge connects to the case. They're not actual like dents or manufacturing defects with your lighter. That's how the hinge is connected. Whereas here it looks like we've got some rivets, some pins. All right, and then there's the top. You can see the Zippo is a little bit more of a dome shape, whereas the Park is just kind of a curved, flat surface. Almost like you took a flexible piece of plastic and just bent it, you know what I mean? Now here's where things get interesting. This is actually why I bought this lighter, all right? As you know with Zippos, when you open them, this is what you see. You see the striking wheel, which is right there. You've got your flint, you got your chimney, all right? Everything's good. And then you've got this. This thing here is called the cam. And the cam is used for making sure that the lid stays open when the lighter is open. So it's not closing because the cam gets in the way. But you can overcome it with the lid like that, and then once you close the lid, the cam is responsible for keeping the lid shut. All right, so it's not going to open on you unless if you like really force it. And it also creates for you the Zippo sound, the traditional Zippo pinging noise. Now the Zippo Slims aren't very good at it, but I do have a Zippo that's not too far from reach here. So let's just grab that. And this is the standard noise that Zippos make when you open them. You hear that? That is also the responsibility of the cam. Basically, the cam when it opens, like I said, it can sort of, it has resistance until a certain spot where it just shoots down like that. And upon shooting down, it'll actually hit the edge of the lid, creating for you the ping noise. All right. Now, the way the Park lighter works is completely different. All right. The Park lighter doesn't ping at all. It makes no attempt to. In fact, let me just show you. So this is what it sounds like when you open the Park lighter. All right, almost silent. And you can see where the cam was on the Zippo, we've got that going on. So there's your a little comparison. If I can do that, you can kind of see how that's working. Yeah, so this is completely different. On a Zippo, there's a little thing in the lid. Let me take this out. There's a thing in the lid. You can kind of make it out, that little flap in there, that little metal flap, which is what the cam grabs onto when you close the lid. All right, so then the lid doesn't open. And then, so that's in there. Whereas on this thing, it's actually sticking out of the lid, and it's a lot closer to the supposed cam. And this bit of spring here is just completely sticking out. It actually looks kind of ridiculous. You can see everything else looks pretty good. You do have a hole in the actual pin of the spark wheel, so that's a little different. This doesn't actually have a flint in it, but there's the wick, as you can see. And yeah, so the way this works is that when you go to close it, let's start with closing it. In fact, that's really, I think, where the mechanism is working. You can see that you're bending that piece of spring metal here towards the chimney. And then once you reach a certain spot, it slips. And so right about there where it's starting to slip. And then what happens is that as they kind of start to line up, this starts putting pressure against that, keeping it closed. It's a really odd mechanism. It actually has a really satisfying closing. Like when you close it, it snaps shut with authority. All right, and this, like I say, does the same thing where you can't shake the Zippo open easily. You might be able to shake it open with force. Not really, though. But then it also keeps the lid open when the Zippo, or the lighter, excuse me, is open. I keep calling this thing a Zippo. This is not a Zippo. This is a park lighter. So you can snap it shut, however. And that ultimately is the biggest thing about these lighters that makes it definitely just a Zippo spin-off, if you could even call it that, because that is a completely different opening mechanism than what you have on a Zippo. All right, all Zippos have had this cam since the beginning, or yeah, since the beginning. They've always had this cam mechanism. So let's go ahead and take the insert out. This is what the insert looks like. It's very plain on this side. It's also kind of dusty, which is nice. There's not much there. You can see that is literally just a big old piece of spring metal that's been pinned to the insert casing itself. And yeah, this doesn't really give a hint of date. And you can see there's the bottom. Let's take a look at the inside, because they're saying they've got a system better than cotton in here. So what is it? Like, I don't know. Ooh, that's hard to open. Is that supposed to be opened? I think it is. Okay, so I haven't actually looked at the directions of this thing yet. Maybe you're not supposed to do that. Maybe that is a solid piece. Did the instructions say anything about that? Y'all probably know it and are screaming at me because you read the instructions. Yeah, you don't pull that up. You just pour it directly onto that. Huh, how about that? So that is a little different, isn't it? So you don't actually pull that up. That is not a felt pad. That's really interesting, actually. It's just a big felt slab in there that that holds the fluid. I guess that means you can't really replace the wick then, can you? So that might be a disadvantage. I'm not sure how this thing looks on the inside, if it's like layers of those blocks of felt in there. But I'm assuming you can't easily replace the wick. That's super interesting. But yeah, you can see this looks like a Zippo insert with a problem. It actually looks kind of funny. Let me go ahead and let me show you. Let me set that there because it's a little dusty. Let me go and show you the Zippo insert. So that's what a Zippo insert looks like, at least a Zippo Slim insert. You can see it has a little swoop on the bottom to help designate that it is a Zippo Slim, in case you, for some reason, mistake it for a regular Zippo insert. And also the writing on it is sideways. So we got A of 11 on there and all that stuff. So that's what a Zippo insert looks like versus the park lighter insert. So yeah, it looks a little silly, doesn't it? Not gonna lie, but it does work, indeed. Like I say, I've never filled it. I just bought this because I thought it was interesting, and I just wanted to check it out. Now, I haven't really yet talked to them about the design. It's an advertisement for a company called Impact Furniture, which is based in Hickory, North Carolina. Now, Hickory, North Carolina is literally like less than an hour away from me, so that's pretty cool. But I don't think this company exists. I did a quick Google search, and I feel like if Impact Furniture was still in Hickory, it would have pulled up the Hickory location first. But I actually found a location in London, so Evidently, there is an Impact Furniture in London, but the one in Hickory, I'm assuming, has closed down. I might continue to look a little bit more into it just to make sure, but I don't believe that they're still around. But that is what that is. Just like Zippo, actually, Park Lighters made a lot of advertisement lighters. In fact, if you Google them, you'll find several designs of advertisements. I found one for whiskey, in fact, so they did that too. Like whiskey advertising, like a lighter advertising whiskey. They didn't make whiskey, they advertised whiskey. So that was kind of cool. So yeah, like I say, it's completely silent. It doesn't really make any noise. It does work though. It's a very satisfying mechanism. The thing really does shoot open. Watch. Shoom, like that. I mean, that opens with some force. And it closes with equal amounts of force. It's pretty cool. So this thing's really, really neat. Again, I don't really like the fact that it's trying to look like a Zippo. I think if you want to get a Zippo style lighter, that you should probably just stick to Zippo. But, I definitely think that this is an interesting, if you find one of these at an antique shop, because again, I'm not really sure if the Park Lighter Company is still in business. I couldn't really find like a website, but I found a lot of like Etsy stores and whatnot. So I'm not really sure if they're still in business, but if you can find a Park Lighter at an antique shop, then I would actually recommend checking it out. It's pretty interesting. So I think that's going to go ahead and do it for this video, guys. Just want to actually, let me go ahead and show you. This does have a 4-barrel hinge as opposed to a 5-barrel hinge. So that's another little difference. Compared to the Zippo, you can see this one has a 5-barrel hinge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see those versus the Park, which has 4. So, guys, that is going to do it. Excuse me. That is going to do it for this video. I bought this thing about like 4 years ago, it seems. I don't even know, 3.5 years ago. And I wanted to make a video on it, but I completely forgot about it. So now I'm making the video now. Oop, that's kind of foggy. Let's open that up. So, yep, that's going to do it, guys. Thank you so very much for watching this video. Hopefully you found it interesting, and adios.